Ahoy! It's Eric again, back with another Portland food focus from my car. You know, there's this little stand in Gresham that I drive past just about every time I run errands out there. Looks like they've got some good food. And today, you know, I am in the mood for some fried fish, some shrimp, some clam chowder. So let's go to Captain's Galley in Gresham. Enjoy some of that. Let's eat. All right, we are in Gresham, parked nearby Captain's Galley on Powell Boulevard here in Gresham. There's a butcher shop I go to in Gresham once or twice a week, basically where Gresham ends and like boring Oregon begins. I don't mean boring the adjective, look it up on a map. Anyway, I go out there once or twice a week, and this place, Captain's Galley, is in between my house and the butcher shop. So I've driven past it a whole bunch of times, always been curious about their food. Felt like pulling the trigger today. I got a few things from Captain's Galley today. I got a combo platter, which comes with fish, shrimp, and clam strips and fries. Also got a fish sandwich and a bowl of clam chowder. So let's just get into all of it. In this bag is the chowder and accoutrements. So I'm gonna save that for later. Let's start with the fish sandwich. It's a nice looking sandwich from the first glance. Unwrap it a little more. See what this looks like here. Looks like you got a couple of fillets here. I assume it's probably cod. Nice toasty bun. Got some coleslaw on here and some tartar sauce. Everything you could want in a fish sandwich. So let's take a bite. Very hot, but very good. Very crispy bread. You can see the big meaty pieces of fish here. Generous helping. A very light breading on this too. Enough to give it a little crunch, but not too greasy. Yeah, pretty light. It's very nice. Kind of see it. See the breading on here. This is a sandwich that really relies on the complementary qualities of all the elements to work as well as it does. As I mentioned, you know, we've got breaded fish here, but the bun itself is what's providing most of the crunch. Tangy tartar sauce as well. Almost a little on the sweet side, which is good. And then, of course, the freshness of the slaw on top makes you feel like you're at least eating some veggies. That was a good bite. Fish that's definitely on the buttery, meaty side as opposed to the fishy side. Yeah, that works. Tell you, I'd like to have this roll with some breakfast. This would be a perfect style of roll for a good egg, sausage, and cheese sandwich. All right, good. That's a real good fish sandwich. Nice and hefty for $7. That was worth it. I'd say the star of the show there was probably the bread. Now, don't get me wrong, the fish was very good, very buttery and tasty. I like the taste of their slaw and their tartar sauce as well. But the crispiness of the bread really brought everything together. Yeah, it bread had good flavor, good crunch on it. Yeah, it really lent itself well. Held together as well. That's one of the things I've really been impressed by with the sandwiches I've gotten from these local Portland spots, is how well they're held together by the various bread and buns that the sandwiches are built upon. Haven't had too many like fall apart on me, make a huge mess. Really, the only time I've made a mess in this car is when I've been careless with au jus, as you saw in my video from Sandwich. Okay, well, we've got a few more things to try here from Captain's Galley. As I mentioned, I got this combo plate here. Combo box, I suppose, since it's to go. Nice. Oh, crap. See? Carelessness. Let's try this again. We've got a good size box of food here. It comes with the fish, which I've already eaten. We've got some shrimp, which I'm going to try, of course. And some clam strips. And, of course, some fries. So, as I mentioned before, got a bag of accoutrements. It has some utensils. It has my chowder in it, which I'm going to eat in just a second. It has a bunch of tartar sauce. It also has the smallest cup of shrimp sauce. This is the cutest little condiment I've ever seen. Let's do a shrimp in the sauce. Very crunchy. Looks like this basket comes with 2 pieces of fish, 4 pieces of shrimp, and like a small handful of these clam strips. Those are good too. One thing I'm really impressed by at Captain's Galley is how not greasy everything is, considering it's a bunch of fried food. It's got an appropriate amount of fried foodness about it, but yeah, we're not talking about a giant box of grease here. Really liking these clam strips. Save the rest of that for later. I've mentioned it in the past, lots of great options for seafood here in the Pacific Northwest, particularly of the crab, shrimp variety. Salmon is also very popular out here, and for good reason if you've ever had some. But I would say that fried fish overall kind of takes a backseat to those other forms of seafood. And so it's good to come across a little place like Captain's Galley that does such a great job with fried fish and fried shrimp and clam strips. Hadn't had too many clam strips over the course of my life prior to today. Maybe a few with some similar like fried food bar platters or whatever. Those are solid though. All right, so we've had the fish sandwich. Excellent. Had a couple of little things from that combo platter. Very, very good. But now let's get to the main event and the primary reason I wanted to go to Captain's Galley today. The clam chowder. Now, I love clam chowder when I lived in Wisconsin. So moving out here kind of made it a whole new experience. Now I got the full bowl today. Maybe I can like flip my camera down so you can see it. No, that's not gonna work. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it to you. Maybe on the spoon. Smells tasty. It's got an appropriate consistency. It's not too runny, not too thick. Can you see that? I don't know. Regardless, let's take a bite. Oh. Wow. Some chowders I've had are very like carrot or potato forward. In some, sort of the creamy celery taste of the chowder base itself was the most prominent flavor. From Captain's Galley, the clam is the thing that they've focused on most in this clam chowder. Every bite, you get a lot of little pieces of shredded up clam. Some are a little more chunky. And I mean, there definitely are other elements in this chowder, but this is a clam chowder for sure. Add a couple little crackers here. I like a chunky soup, chunky chili. What's your favorite thing to add to soup or chili? Drop a comment down below. I typically go with saltines, but these oyster crackers are appropriate for today's meal. Yeah. Let's see if I can show it here without dumping it. No. The fact that it's white doesn't really help either. Trust me, it's tasty looking as well as tasty tasting. There's a sign out front that says, chowder today. And I understand why that's the thing that they're going to try to advertise most heavily. The fish sandwich was really good, as were all the things I had in that combo box. But that clam chowder is the highlight of the meal for me for sure. Gives you that nice, well-seasoned chowder taste with a healthy helping of clams to go in it. Yeah, that's the thing I'd recommend getting most strongly from Captain's Galley for sure. That's why I got the bowl-sized portion, because I knew I'd want a lot of it. I've yet to be led astray when it comes to clam chowder in Portland and the surrounding Oregon area. Probably helps that we're really close to the ocean. That's why I felt confident going all the way with the bowl instead of the cup. And I'm glad I did, because now I have leftovers. That's been another thing about these videos that's been a real pleasure, is how high the leftover factor has been. I get too much food from most of these places to eat by myself in my car, so a lot of it ends up in the fridge at home. And pretty much without exception, Everything has heated up well or come out of the fridge and been really good. Yet one more reason to buy local. Yeah, so overall, if you're out in the Gresham area, craving some clam chowder, some fried fish, really good fish sandwich, or if you're gonna go to the butcher and you wanna get something on the way so you don't end up buying way too much food, stop over at Captain's Galley, get yourself a bowl, not a cup, a bowl of this clam chowder. I think you'll really like it. Okay, back at home after a very enjoyable trip to Captain's Galley in Gresham. As I mentioned, that fish sandwich, that's reason enough to go back there. And that combo box would be great during a sporting event with a couple of beers, for sure. But as I mentioned, the highlight's that clam chowder. Great clam flavor, lots of actual clam in the chowder itself. Very well seasoned, well balanced, just a real great thing to eat for lunch. That's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, I really do appreciate it. If you wanna see more of my content, you know exactly what to do. Take care.